And is W.J.R.G. Internet Radio Station on a beautiful Thursday evening. And this is Action First Broadcast. We come your way every Thursday at 6 p.m. All right. We're excited this evening what the Lord is doing. And we have a special guest this evening, like we do every Thursday. And we're excited, like I said, for what's happening. First of all, let me just say hello to Dr. Wayne McCray. How you doing, my brother?
Good man. How you doing, Jerry?
I am blessed. It's always good to see you and hear your
Yes, sir.
great voice. And also, we have in the on Zoom as well, StreamYard. We have Brother Mel Thompson. He's a playwright. How you doing, my brother? God bless, Brother
How's it
Mel.
going, Jerry? It's Thomas, not Thompson.
Thomas. I'm sorry, my
Thomas.
brother. Mel Thomas.
No
I
problem.
got you. All right. Well, first of all, it's good to have you with us this evening. We're excited to have you with us, man. Like I said, every Thursday we try to bring, to our guests someone that's doing a great job, in our community, in the body of Christ, and we're just, like I said, excited to have you. First of all, what age were you when you started playing an instrument? I'm reading your bio. You're a pianist and you play instruments. So, what age you started playing, and when did you know you had that gift? To start being a musician.
I guess I started playing, excuse me, I started playing by ear when I was probably in the second or third grade. And I
Okay.
didn't start piano lessons until I was in the fifth grade. And that only came about because of the fact that as much as I had begged my mother and father for me to take piano lessons, the one that convinced them I should take piano lessons was the church organist after she heard me play a song that she had played earlier that morning in church.
Okay.
So that was it.
That was it. Okay. Well, let me ask you another question. Now, I read in your bio, I understand that you performed with the legendary Stevie Wonder and also the late Chuck Berry. All right, and there had to be
Yeah.
something, man, that was very special. Let's talk about that experience, man. Especially Stevie Wonder. Both of them are icons. Let's talk about
Oh, yeah.
that experience.
Well, Stevie Wonder at the time, when we backed him up, he had just had two back-to-back hits with
Right.
high heel sneakers and hand clapping. Okay,
Wow.
and the thing that impressed me about Stevie right off the bat, who was only he was somewhere between 12 and 14, somewhere in there. But the
Okay.
thing that impressed me with Stevie Wonder, in addition to being a really, really nice kid, was the fact that he played three instruments: harmonica, piano, and drums. And he played all three equally well. You know, it wasn't like one was better than the other. And that's something that, at least at that time in my life, I hadn't really experienced too much. You know, coming across somebody that was so talented on three instruments, especially at such a young age. You know.
Right. Because still, like you
Um,
said, Stevie started young. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was going to say with Chuck Berry, um, we backed him up. Oh, it's been quite a few
Right.
years now. But we backed him up at the Bristol Memorial there in Hartford, and we
Okay.
had done a show up there. And the thing that I always remember about that is that I had almost gotten sick to my stomach because I was so nervous about working with Chuck Berry. And we were supposed to have
Wow.
met him at 7 o'clock at the Bushnell for a rehearsal.
Okay.
And he didn't show up until I think it was like about 8:30. Well, we had
Wow.
already done the first half of the show, and it was during intermission that they came and told me that Chuck Berry was now, backstage and being the pianist in the group. It was my job to get together with whoever we were backing up, go over their arrangements, and then tell the band what we were doing. What happened that night was I was talking with Chuck Berry and asking him what he was doing, and he very in a very nonchalant tone said, "Well, maybe we'll do a little bit of Sweet Little 16, and maybe we'll do a little bit of this, and maybe we'll do a little bit." So I finally went back to the guys in the band and I said, "Look, we just gonna wing it, you know. That's
There
it.
you go.
There
There you
wasn't any
go.
music, I said we just gonna wing it."
Yeah, because I was watching the making of Motown with Berry Gordy and Smokey Robinson, and Stevie Wonder was talking about his career, how he got started with Motown. You know, I know his name was Stephen Morrison, I think it was, and then Berry Gordy gave him the name
Yeah, Morrison.
Wonder. Yeah. And Barry Gordy gave him the name Wonder because he was a Wonder Boy. But uh, but the thing
Yeah,
about it, like I said, it's
yeah.
so much talent, you know. And like I said, and so you was a young. How old were you? You said when you started playing the piano. Would you say how old were you? You was young too,
How
right?
old was I?
Yeah, when
I
you started
was
playing.
probably, I'm thinking eight, seven,
Yeah,
eight,
that's what I'm saying.
nine,
Right,
somewhere in there.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wow, that's the best. Now also I see
So,
you're a playwright and
uh,
you written a play. Go ahead. No, you were saying something.
say what?
No, was
No,
you
you were
saying
talking about
something?
the. Oh no, I was just saying that as a kid, I was surrounded by all types of music because my father was a musician, and
Okay.
he played all kinds of music. So I was brought between my grandmother's love for blues and gospel music, my mother's love for music, period, and my father playing anything from jazz to blues to classical music.
Right.
I was just surrounded by music.
Well,
Yeah.
well, the good thing, I'm glad you said that because I know the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he get old, he should not depart. Because actually, that's how I got into music. And my dad had a music store, all right, on Dixon
Uh huh.
Avenue. And I was 8 years old when he started his store. And I was, from
Oh
that point on, I was into music. All right. I
yeah.
knew all the music. I remember Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, the Temp. I remember all of them because we sold them
Yeah.
all. All right. I remember when Motown was at its peak. All right. When the Temptation, My Girl, I remember all that. All right, because I was into
Oh yeah.
music and I stayed in it. So I understand exactly what you're saying when you're surrounded by music or
Oh
people
yeah.
that's into music. So you're also a playwright and you've written a few plays. Like one is Kathy's Secret that made its debut in 2019 at the Hartford Fringe Festival. Let's talk about your playwriting skills. So it's how to feel writing plays and being a blessing to your audience.
Well, the writing thing was something that it was one of those latent talents that was always in me. But the music always came first.
Okay.
I didn't really start getting into writing until long after I had retired.
Right.
But even as a kid, I remember when we would have an English class there in elementary school, and the teacher said, write a theme. Everybody else would moan and groan, and I liked it. This was just something, more creative to do.
Okay.
Um, so, like I said, it came sometime after. I guess throughout my life, I've always written short poems and things of this sort. And somehow or another, I've always managed to be in the company of people who write. And a very, very good friend of mine, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. I started getting into writing a little bit more when I was working with Urban League of Greater Hartford, and I used to do a monthly newsletter there, and just so it just kind of like branched out from there. And I don't know. It's the best thing I could say is that there would be times where stories would just come to me. They
Okay.
would just come to me, and I would just sit down and start writing. Um, there's a short story for love of Eric and Charles that was a true story of two very good friends of mine.
Okay.
Um, that one was published, and then someone else's happiness that came out of a workshop that I had attended a few years ago up at Martha's Vineyard. And
Okay.
it was just one single line that I had in a short story that we were instructed to write. And so, anyhow, I just built on that little story, and that got published. And Kathy's Secret was just one of those stories that just came to mind. I think a lot of it has to do with uh, people that I've known personally, people I've come across things that I've seen on
Right.
TV or whatever. Inspiration comes from
There
all
you go.
directions.
But I want to say to you, our brother Mel, is that that's something that you just can't take lightly. Everybody can sit down and write plays, things like that, because even in plays, or even writing a movie, they got scripts that they gotta learn. Somebody got to write it
Yeah,
out for them, and that's a gift, man.
yeah,
That's a gift. That's a gift. Just like writing a song. Everybody, because I love music. I never wrote a song, but I have a gift for music with an ear, like I listen to music, all right, and
hmm
program music. But as far as writing the material, to be the creator of it, that's a blessing, man. That's a gift. That's something
yeah,
everybody don't have. That's a gift, man. So speaking of
yeah.
gifts, that was one of my questions. How do you explain the gift that God gave you, man? He blessed you with this gift. How can you explain that, man? Because like I said, it's not something that is easy for you, and people might look at your plays or whatever and see why I can do that. It's not that easy. Let's talk about the gift that God gave you, man. So you said it's
You know,
inspiration
it's
that you get,
it's funny, but when I think of the music as an example,
right?
um, I remember the apartment that my family had moved into, and the day we moved in there, there was this big empty room, and the living room was empty, but there was this old piano there,
Okay,
and I was just attracted to it. There were
right,
bunches of influences. I already mentioned about the influence with my immediate family,
right.
but when I was coming up, there was this place in Hartford called the State Theater, which
Okay,
you could easily compare to the Apollo in Harlem. Okay, and I remember my mother and or grandmother bringing me there when I was knee high to a duck. I saw Nat King Cole, I saw Cab
wow.
Calloway. One of my main
So all the greats.
inspirations was this guy, Sugar Child Robinson, who
Yep.
was about my age. I think he's only a year older than myself, but he played piano and sang. And back then, what we called it was boogie woogie. Okay,
Right.
but so these were inspirations, and it's a gift, but I look at it in the same way as I do the fact that I have the gift of sight. You know,
Okay. There you go.
I have my five senses. I have my arms, my legs. These are all
Right.
gifts that people tend to take for granted.
Take
But
it for
I
granted.
look
Right.
upon all of these things as gifts, and I came with a few extra gifts by being able to play piano, sing, write music, write a play, and
Wow.
that's it. You know.
But that's a blessing, brother Mel. All right, this is Action First Broadcast. All right, I'm live at W.J.R.G radio station as well, Gospel Inspirations, and we have Dr. Wayne McCray and also our special guest, brother Mel Thomas. He's a playwright, also a songwriter, so he has a lot of talent, and I just want to keep it moving with him because I'm being blessed as well. He also performed with the legendary Stevie Wonder and the late Chuck Berry. So a question I asked you before we came on the air: what makes Tyler Perry different from other playwriters and screenwriters? Because saying this here, I remember, like I was telling you before Tyler Perry got big. All right, I was selling his products at my store on Whaley Avenue in New Haven. We was the first and only store in New England that was selling Tyler Perry. I got his number from my representative at Central South Records, and she gave me the number to AJ Production. That's how I got the number for Tyler Perry Production Company, and we started selling his VHS and DVDs before anybody else. And he was homeless at the time. He was just getting on his feet, and now look at how Tyler Perry God has blessed him to
Yeah.
blow up to be
Yeah.
probably the biggest, right, up there with Oprah and Spike Lee and them. But what make him different than a lot of other playwriters? Is he that talented, or just a blessing from God? Would you say?
I think it's a combination
Okay,
of a few things. Uh, he is different, um, uh, and more than anything, I would have to say a big time blessing.
right. Okay,
He happens to be very talented, But there are some people out here we mentioned earlier that they've gotten some really good breaks. They've
Right.
really been blessed, and yet they really not out. I mean, there are people out there who've gotten Grammys and they ain't all that hot.
Oh, right, right,
It's,
right.
you
Yeah,
know,
because
they're
because
good.
right. I said that, brother Mel, because even you look at sports and basketball, right? You got millions of kids that play basketball every day, right? And you
Yeah,
got some that never make the NBA, and some are never going to be a LeBron James or a Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe, or Michael
right.
Jordan. But they got the same talent. They're good, all right? Maybe not as good,
Yep.
or they can't put people in the seats like maybe them guys could, all right? But they're still good basketball players. So everybody has a special or a certain gift. That's why I said what made Tyler Perry so different to make him blow up the way he did. And I was part of his legacy coming up because like I said, I was the first one selling his product, man. So I'm excited for you as well. So
Yeah.
what keep you encouraged and motivated to keep striving forward, man? What keep you motivated and encouraged to keep going?
What keeps me
Motivated
motivated?
and encouraged. Yeah, motivated and
But
encouraged to keep moving forward in
um,
what you're doing.
one of many gifts is the fact that um, I try to remain open minded. I'm always
Okay.
open to new ideas, new experiences.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I think I had mentioned a little bit earlier how I just got back into painting. I've been painting these Afrocentric candle holders,
Okay.
and
Wow.
I just happen to have one here that I can
Do you?
show. Okay,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
I know the people on the radio they can't see it,
let
but
me
that's good. Well, we're streaming
away.
live. They can see it on social media. There you go. All right.
Yeah. But at first I was thinking, "Ooh, I could go into business, doing this." But you got to really watch doing what you love and making a living at it, because
Right.
that can get really tricky sometimes.
Yes, it
But
could.
again, it's when you talk about being motivated. My thing is, keep an open mind. Always keep an open mind.
There you go.
Always maintain an attitude of gratitude.
Okay.
And I can just say I've really been blessed in the fact that just a lot of really good things have come my way.
Right. See, and the reason why I ask these questions, I'm going to turn over to you, Dr. Wayne, in a second.
Yeah.
The reason why, Brother Mel, I ask these questions, because if someone's listening on the radio or they're watching, they're viewing us live stream, someone needs to hear this because, people, they're looking for either role models, positive role models, or looking for a right direction. And that's why sometimes you can have knowledge, but if you don't share knowledge, it's no good unless you share it and give it away to somebody else. That's why I ask these questions because you
Mm.
never know who's. I've been doing radio for 40 years, and you never know who's listening and who you could be a blessing to as well. I'm gonna turn it over to you, Dr. Wayne. You got some questions
All
for
right.
Brother Mel?
This is really good. I know this was going to be powerful and epic, man. And Mel, we're going to have you back on at another time with your writers group. And also, there's some other young writers that I know that produce film, and through COVID, they took their play experience and they created a movie. So,
Mm.
and I want to connect you with Tanya E. Randall Productions. She's here locally, and she's making an impact, and that's her passion. And
Right,
how her writing ability, she writes with reality of situations, and she's doing a great work, and we just want to connect those that had the experience with and also Jerry daughter writes as well too. There's
right,
another one
right.
that writes as well, and
Uh,
she's in North Carolina.
She's
And
in
so
Charlotte.
I
Yes.
think your wisdom and your experience, will help them and where they're at now, because it's the era and the times we're in are different times, but the wisdom is solid. So
Right,
it's things that with new writers and their approaches and things that will really be helpful. And I believe that you carry a lot of wisdom with you from your experiences and to be able to help out the other artists, that are up and coming. And so, like when you say with the open mindedness, it's a powerful thing, in your
Hmm.
experiencing with Stevie Wonder and
Late
also
Chuck Berry.
Chuck
Chuck
Berry,
Berry. Yep.
from those eras. So, how do you feel about, approaches and some of the things that you see that are out there in the structure of play forms?
Well, uh, a few things come to mind. There are a lot of young people out here that are extremely talented, and
Mm,
I mean, they have very, very powerful voices, and yet it's like no one's hearing them. So it would really be great to say pull those kind of people together. Um,
mm,
the of the young lady that you just mentioned, I would definitely be interested in her, meeting her, and just kicking around ideas. And I'm always flattered when people talk about my wisdom and everything, but a lot of my wisdom comes not just from my own experiences, but listening to other people. Listening to
mm.
new ideas, listening to the various perspectives that
Right.
young and old have to offer. I mean, I can learn something from somebody that's 3 years old. Anybody that can talk, I can learn something.
Right.
Right, I like that. And I'm also a musician myself, you know, um, I
Uh-huh.
dabble on the keys, and from a musician's position, and wow, now I'm like, wow, that's really powerful. You know, now some of the structure, because now I love classical music. I love classical music.
Oh,
The instrumentation, the
Right.
strokes, and it's really but I like to mix, a lot of sounds. I hear music, and I find myself uh uh being directed to the classical, but because I like the string instrumentations, those things, it's more soothing. And as a worshiper in spirituality, that collaboration and bringing that merit in, it's something that really helps. Because music soothes. We know scripture. David played the harp for Saul. And it calmed his spirit. And so, we
yeah,
know that music is a language all by itself.
Yes, it is.
And then as being a musician now, what do you
yeah.
feel as far as the approach in those two categories with string instruments versus other type of instruments?
Well, as mentioned earlier, I was raised on all kinds of music. I can remember hearing and
Well, I think we lost Mel for a hot minute. He should be coming back up. There you go.
Uh, but one of the things that just came to mind, I wish they would start, bringing music back to uh, another one of my. We had
I think your audio is breaking up, Brother Mel.
Mm.
was all music, and is that it well, just it bought me an appreciation for all kinds of music. It gave an opportunity gather and okay
All right.
unity. everyone together. It was a community. About the various instruments. Now, that's another conversation altogether.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we want
Yeah.
to go into the various instruments and how you bring together the highs and that you can produce is
Right.
that's a whole nother.
Yeah. You know, your audio is breaking up.
Yeah, your
See,
audio was breaking up.
Your audio is breaking up, bro. All
Yeah.
right.
So Jerry, we're gonna go to you for a second. Mel, if you could just um go out and come back into the broadcast to bring you back in because we having a little audio issue.
Mel, did you hear Dr. Wayne? Yeah, but Dr. Wayne, he got a
Yeah.
powerful testimony. Brother
Oh
Mel,
yes, man.
can you
Yeah,
still
for
hear us?
sure.
Brother Mel, you still hear
Mel.
us? No, your audio went out altogether. All right, Dr. Wayne, we might have to
Yeah,
bring
hold on.
him.
Let me just try to remove it and then bring them back in.
Okay, if you can't bring it back in, then we'll get it back on the air again.
Mhm. Can you hear me, Mel? Okay, let me just 1 second here, and we'll bring them back in.
All right, this is Action First broadcast this evening on this Thursday evening. I'm Dr. Jerry Green along with Dr. my man Wayne McCray, and also we have our special guest, Brother Mel Thomas. He's a stage writer and also he's a songwriter and a musician. All right, so he's our special guest this evening, and we have some other guests that if you want to be a guest on our show as well, make sure you send Dr. Wayne yeah, on his email, or you can contact me if you're going to be a special guest on our radio show and also streaming live on Facebook. Mel, you back with us? Brother Mel, can you hear us? I don't think you hear us, Dr. Wayne. Okay. No, he's having a problem
Yeah, yeah,
with his
we having a little technical difficulty
yeah, we
here.
have technical
Just
difficulty.
give the announcement, Jerry,
Okay.
and then let me call him real. I'll give him a
Okay, like I
call.
said, this is Action First broadcast, and we're streaming live tonight on StreamYard for Facebook, and it's going to be live on YouTube as well, and also on the radio W.J.R.G. We're a 24-hour gospel internet radio station. So those who love gospel music, make sure you join us because we have the very best gospel music that's coming your way. All right, so make sure you join us for that as well. And like I said, every Thursday we try to bring a special guest in that's a blessing to our community and to God's people. Because everybody have talent, some kind of talent. Everybody possess. We just try to help you find your talent and your gift, so you can be a blessing to somebody else as well. That's what it's all about. God, when God gives us a gift, He just don't give it to us to sit on. He gives us a gift so we can share with other people and share with the world. All right. So I'm waiting for Brother Mel Thomas to come back with us and Dr. Wayne McCray so we can finish up this interview this evening. And like I said, this guy, he performed with the likes of the legendary Stevie Wonder and also the late, great Chuck Berry. That had to be an honor, man, to get on the stage with Stevie Wonder or back up Stevie Wonder. Wow. That had to be a great honor, man. Boogie Down, Boogie Woman, whatever that's. I remember that song. You made Happy Birthday for Dr. Martin Luther King. So Stevie Wonder, the legendary Stevie Wonder. All right. So we're gonna play some music in a few minutes as well, until we get Mel Thomas back and Dr. Wayne. But we're gonna be playing some music as well. And like I said, this is Action First broadcast this evening. And just to remind everybody as well, far as this radio station, you could join us weekday mornings with the morning show that starts at 6 every morning and ends at 10 o'clock. And we have our classic oldie Sunday that take place every Sunday. All right, Dr. Wayne, you back? We got brother
Yes,
Mel
yes,
back.
we back.
Brother Mel, you back with us?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm back here, but it's still looking funny. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Well,
Yeah,
we
we
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you.
We
Yeah,
hear
do
you
you
now.
have your Wi-Fi on? Do you have your Wi-Fi on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, any
Well,
final questions, Jerry?
well, no, I'm good. Basically, the only question I was going to ask our brother Mel, because I try to ask this question, to our guest, what is the achievement or the accomplishment that you are the most proud of in your life? The one achievement and accomplishment would you say you are the most proud of that you felt that you did and God bless you to do? If you could think of at
Oh
least one
man,
or two.
I feel very fortunate there. I can start off with the fact that I have two sons. I'm very
Okay,
proud of them.
there you go.
Um, I'm very proud of the fact that I got to see a play of mine produced and performed.
Okay.
Um, ah, the list goes on. That's a tough one. The best way
No,
I
but
can
I
tell you
understand.
is
I
I
understand.
remember. Huh?
No, that's what I do. I ask tough questions. I ask the questions, man, that sometimes we don't even
Yeah.
think about.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now also,
I mean, I
go ahead.
always think of one Thanksgiving when somebody do one thing that I was most grateful for, and it's for life. Any blood take is a
Okay, we're having a problem with your audio for the last time. All right, but we appreciate having you on the show, brother Mel. Mel Thomas. He's like I said, a stage writer, and we have a little problem with his audio and the video right now as
and
well.
you got
No, I hear you. It's breaking up though.
Yeah, yeah. It's going in and out. We having a Wi-Fi connection problem.
Okay, it's going in and out. All right, Dr. Wayne.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're gonna have to have you back on for part two, and I want to thank you for all that was shared. It was very powerful, and we want to thank you for taking action first, because that's the name of the
That's
broadcast.
the name of the
So I want
broadcast.
to thank you for taking
and
action first.
for having
All right.
thank
All
you
right,
for
brother
Yeah.
Mel.
having me.
All right.
Yes, and we're actually, hopefully, Jerry, we could get him down to the studio soon,
Without a
right?
doubt. Come live to the studio.
Thank you for having.
Cause he's right in
Yeah.
New Haven, right? You right in New Haven, right? You're in New Haven? Well, anyway, he's in New Haven, right, Dr. Wayne? We can get him in the
Yes,
studio.
yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
All right. All right, Dr. Wayne, Brother Mel
All
Thomas.
right.
Thank you for being our special guest this evening. And Dr. Wayne, you can close this out, bro.
Well, only thing at this point in time I want to say is thank you for taking action first. So can you say that with me?
Action,
Action
action
first.
first. All right.
All right.
God bless you, both of you guys.
God
I'm
bless.
gonna get back to some more great gospel music on W.J.R.G. All right, Dr. Wayne. God
All
bless you,
right,
my
God.
brother. All right,
All
brother
right,
Mel.
Dr.
God bless.
Jerry.